Hi there, welcome. I hope you enjoy the next 45-ish minutes of a class that I recorded before leaving the country. Hopefully when you're watching this, I am on the other side of the world enjoying climbing some mountains in hopefully sunshine, and you guys are enjoying some very brisk, lovely, sunny but cold days in England. I will see you guys in the new year. I'm looking forward to practicing with you all again, and in the meantime, I hope this is a at least somewhat okay version of practicing with me from afar. I'm thinking of you all, and yeah, keep an eye on my Instagram and get jealous. Okay, see you soon. Welcome to this 45-minute Vinyasa flow. You will need potentially a couple of blocks. If you don't own blocks or have them at home, you could use a couple of larger kind of solid sized items, something that you can put underneath your hands and evenly put some weight into. This could be a solid book or a couple of books stacked on top of one another, but you don't have to. I'll give adjustments throughout as though you're not practicing with blocks anyway. I also recommend a blanket. It might be nice, especially for some cushioning underneath your knees and hips. Okay, we're going to start today's class in child's pose. So come to your hands and knees, separating the knees out, big toes come together, walk the hands forwards and settle yourself down, finding a lovely long stretch through the back. Your forehead can come to the mat or a block, maybe even a cushion if you have one. We're going to be here for 10 deep breaths. Find this time to settle into this pose. Find length through the spine, settle deeper into the hips, and just settle onto the mat, arriving and starting the class. Take a moment to notice if you're holding any tension in any particular parts of your body, if you can breathe a little deeper into these areas. Maybe if you notice where the breath's moving in the torso, is it opening into the back of the ribs a little more? Or maybe you're pulling it down into the abdomen a little deeper. Noticing how the armpits are feeling, stretching out through the arms and shoulders. You might like to take your third eye, that point between the eyebrows, and rub it or roll it side to side on the mat underneath your forehead, just massaging out that third eye, finding a little moment to ground yourself down deeper into the mat. Keeping yourself and your weight back towards your heels, walk your hands off the left side of your mat. Maybe taking your right hand on top of the left, pulling back into the right hip space. Settle yourself here, breathing deeply. Inhale, exhale. One more breath like that, in and out. Inhale back through center. We move off the right side of the mat. Left hand might come on top of the right. Pull back into that left hip. Find that stretch through the side of the left body. Deeply breathing in and out. In and out. Inhale, come back through center. From here, walk the hands back towards the knees. Sit yourself up. If it's uncomfortable to sit back on the heels like this, you can pop something underneath the bottom or just come to cross legs. Take a moment to have your hands on your knees and roll the shoulders up, back and down. Take it a few times, working through any tightness, any parts of the shoulders that feel a little dodgy. Take it the opposite direction. And settle into stillness, sitting up nice and tall, stretching through the back of the neck and lengthening the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Take the hands to the knees. Inhale, draw the chest forwards, arching the back, gazing up. Exhale, round through the spine, draw the belly button in, maybe taking your chin to your chest. Inhale, find your seated cow pose. Exhale, round through and find seated cat. 2 more times. Moving in time with your own breath. Inhale, come back through to neutral. Really nice. Take a moment. We're going to come back to our cat-cow, but on hands and knees this time. Stack the wrists underneath the shoulders. Move the knees back in line with the hips and heels. And just take a moment to maybe even pad out through the fronts of the feet. We've taken a lot of weight into the lower legs. Let the blood flow return. You can take a little wiggle side to side. Maybe turn the fingertips in towards one another. Take a gentle rock side to side. Heels of the hands can come in and take small circles in one direction and in the other direction. Lovely. We come to our cat-cow practice. Dropping the belly, inhale, gaze forwards, lift the chin round through the back to really stretch out through the front of the body. Exhale, round through the back of the body. Draw the shoulder blades apart from one another, maybe drawing navel up and in towards the spine. Chin can move towards the chest. Inhale, we drop back into that cow pose. Exhale, round through the back into cat pose. Moving in time with your own breath. It doesn't matter how fast I'm moving. Just take it in your own time. Taking 3 more reps. Inhaling to come forward to cow. Exhaling to go back to cat. You're welcome to close the eyes down and take any asymmetric movement. It might be some barrel rolls side to side, or you can take the weight back towards the heels, rounding forwards, arching on the way back, adding a little bit of an elbow bend. Take your time to notice what feels necessary to you in this moment. When you feel you've taken this everything evenly on both sides, come back to our neutral alignment, settle yourself here, and just find a little bit of evenness through both hands and both knees. And then we're going to find our puppy pose. Walk the hands further forwards to the top corners of your mat. Sink the chest down. My mic gets a little muffled here, but chin or forehead is to the mat. Really try and draw the chest down as you exhale. Stretch through the armpits, keep the bottom high. Inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths like that. In and out. 1 more in and out. Really nice. Walk the hands back towards yourself as you sink yourself back just to one little child's pose to even everything off and counteract that puppy pose. Really nice. Hands and knees. We're going to find our thread the needle. We've done this together before. We take one hand up to the sky. I'm going to start with our left hand. Left hand goes up high. Gaze follows the hand. Exhale. Send that left hand underneath the right shoulder blade. Take the shoulder down to the mat and side of the head down to the mat also. Settling yourself here, breathing in nice and deep. You can take your right hand to the top corner or find the bind behind the back. You can see on the camera, I'm taking my hand into that left hip crease. Really nice. Settling here for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring that right hand back in front of the face. Push down, unravel. Let's swap sides. Right hand moves to the sky. Thread it through. Side of the head and shoulder come to the mat. You can take that left hand up to the top corner of the mat or take it behind the back, finding that crease of the hip once more. Breathe in and out. For 3, for 2, and 1. Plant down through that left hand, unravel. Hand moves up. It plants down. Tuck the toes. We move to our first downward dog of the class. Take this time to paddle out through the feet, walking one foot and then the other down as you bend the opposite knee. The other heel comes closer towards the mat or even touches. Take your time. Let yourself settle into this pose. This might be the first downward dog you've done today. maybe in a few days. Just notice how your back's feeling, pushing the shoulders towards the knees to open up through the armpits. Your gaze is down towards the mat, or you're tucking the chin and looking at your kneecaps. Breathing in and out. Find some stillness now. Use the exhale to lengthen the heels down towards the ground. One more deep breath in and out. Inhale, gaze between the hands, hop, step or jump to the front of the mat. We halfway lift. Find a flat back, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward fold down. Big inhale, we sweep the hands up and out overhead. We arrive and set up in our Tadasana to really warm the body up in our Surya Namaskar A, our sun salutation. You might shut the eyes down and just spread the toes out, really trying to ground down through the feet here, lifting the kneecaps, tucking the tailbone and drawing that belly button in. Shoulders drop down, send energy through the fingertips and send the crown of the head up towards the sky. Find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Breathe deeply here, find your center. One more breath. Hands sweep out and up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold from the hips, fingertips towards the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to your plank. Everyone take knees, chest, chin this first time. Knees come down, draw the belly button in, wrap the arms in towards the chest. We lower down. Inhale, find your heart opener. So we roll the shoulders back, draw the chest forwards, cobra. We then tuck the toes, lift the bottom, and move towards that deep inverted V, our downward dog. Take a deep breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Inhale, gaze between the hands, hop, step or jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up overhead. Reset in your Samastiti or Tadasana. Breathe in and out. Second time, inhale. We go a little faster. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, find your halfway lift, flatten the back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to your plank. Either take your knees, chest, chin, lowering the knees, chest and chin, or bring the weight into the fingertips. Lower yourself through that half push-up. Inhale, find upward dog or cobra. We move back into our downward dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, gaze between the hands, hop, step or jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands sweep out and up overhead. And we release here. Really nice. Now we're a little warmer, we'll start on our flow. So we'll plant the right foot down at the front of the mat and take a big step back with the left foot. We find our low lunge, lower that left knee down. You can paddle out that right foot, find those tram lines, that train track to find stability here. We're finding the hips moving forwards and down. Find that hip opener here. Breathe in and out. You have the option to use blocks underneath the hands if you have them, or you can take your hands onto your knee, interlacing the fingers and settling yourself here. If you want to make this more active, you're going to either hold this for 5 breaths and then move to half splits for 5 breaths, or you join me. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forwards as the arms aeroplane back. The hips draw back, right toes to the sky. Inhale, find that low lunge once more. Exhale, we move back. 2 more times. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. 1 more. In and out. Using your breath to help you here. Inhale, come back to your low lunge. Take a moment to ground down through the feet. Breathe in and out. We're going to take fingertips down to the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and step that foot a decent way up the mat so that you can turn both toes roughly towards the front. Our left toes are maybe turned out towards the top left corner, so it's just on a slight angle. If you have blocks, you can find your blocks now and come to your pyramid pose, supported blocks underneath the hands. If you don't have a block, you have the option of bringing your hands onto your shin, looking forwards, or if you're pretty open in your hips, you can start to fold down towards your right shin. Bear in mind, you're trying to pull your right hip back to square your hips with the front of the mat. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, find your fold. Use your breath here. You can make it dynamic. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, folding and rounding. One more breath in and out. Inhale, you lift, straighten the legs, maybe start to bend in through the front knee if you need the support, hands to hips, flatten the back, and then inhale, we stand and bring the feet together at the front of the mat. Inhale and exhale here, settle yourself at the front of the mat. You now know what we're doing on the other side. We take a big step back with the right foot, low lunge on the other knee. Right knee can come down. Again, if this feels dodgy on the back knee, you can always have a blanket underneath. Take hands to the knee, choose whichever option you took on the other side and notice, can you stack that left knee directly on top of the ankle, adjusting the foot if you need to. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, find that hip opener on the right side. Inhale and exhale, settle deeper. If you're joining me, inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, we move back to our half splits, lifting left toes, aeroplaning the arms. Inhale forwards, exhaling back. 2 more breaths. Inhale forwards and exhale back. Last one, forwards and back. Come back to frame the front foot. Settling yourself here, give yourself a moment, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step that forwards slightly, turning the heel just in a tad, lengthening both legs, lifting the body if necessary, finding blocks either side of the front foot, or we come to find our fold towards the shin. You can undulate here using the breath like we did on the other side. Inhale, finding length, exhale, folding forwards. 3 more wherever you are, deeply breathing in and out. In and out. Last breath, in and out. Inhale, lift yourself all the way up. Little micro bend in the left knee if you need to. Step forwards, we reset. Inhale, drop the shoulders, exhale. Arrive in this Tadasana, settle yourself here. Find your breath again, find your balance. Really nice. From here, we go back to the other side once more. Big step back with the left foot, we arrive in our high lunge. Again, check the adjustment of the knee. Make sure that knee is stacked directly on top. Be on train tracks for stability through the legs if need be. We can settle ourselves here, hands to hips. Breathe in and out. Option for a little back bend, you can take our Shiva Mudra, interlacing the fingers and having the pointer pointing up. Lengthen through the heart space, opening the front of the body and taking a little back bend. Breathe in and out. Inhale, come out. Release the hands to our hips. Turn the left heel down. We open to our warrior 2. Right knee stacking directly on top of that ankle, making sure you can still see your right toe on the inside edge, making sure it's stacked nicely. Inhale, draw the hands up, drop the shoulders and look to the right middle finger. Soften the gaze here, find your drishti point, settle yourself here, shoulder blades draw down. Breathe in and out. 2 more deep breaths in and out. Last breath in and out. Flip the front hand, lean over the right toes. We then reverse the warrior. Take left hand down the left leg, keep that right knee stacked. Breathe in, look up, exhale, bend a little deeper. 1 more deep breath here, in and out. Inhale back to your warrior 2, really nice. Hands behind the back this time. interlacing the hands, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. Chest lifts. Inhale, look up. Exhale, we're humbling our warrior. Right shoulder to right knee. Inhale and exhale, settle crown of the head towards the floor. Lift the hands in their bound position. Breathe in and out. If you can't bind the hands, take hold of opposite elbows. It's also a great option. Breathe in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Inhale, stand back up. Woo. We take left hand down and forwards. We're in our high lunge, turning on the back toes. Lift the hands, find that balance one last time. Option for a vinyasa, if you don't want to, simply step to the front of the mat and wait for us. If you're taking your vinyasa, hands down, take whichever form of a vinyasa you prefer, knees, chest, chin, or your chaturanga. Inhale, find your heart opener. We meet in downward dog. If you're standing at the front of the mat, stay where you are. Enjoy being there, knowing that we have to join you. Inhale. Everyone else, gaze between the hands, hop, step, or jump to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Big inhale, sweep the hands out and up overhead. Drop the hands. We go to the other side. We take a big step back with the right foot. High lunge, keep that left knee stacked, finding whichever version, if you're working with your Shiva Mudra and the back bend, you take it now. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, find that back bend. Inhale, we come out. We go straight to our warrior two on the other side. I'm going to turn around so I'm still facing you. Right heel drops down. We find that left knee stacking on top of the ankle, drop the shoulders. Find that external rotation through the hips. As your shoulders and hips are in line with the long edge of the mat, the only thing that turns to look is your head. Looking to that middle finger of the left hand, settle your shoulders. Lengthen the crown of the head up, breathe in and out. 2 more breaths, in and out. 1 more, in and out. We reverse our warrior, lean forwards over the left toes. We take the hand up, keep those left knees bending as you find that back bend towards the right leg. Breathe in and out. 1 more breath in and out. Inhale, back up. Take a moment before we humble our warrior. Hands come behind our back once more, taking hold of opposite elbows if you prefer. Inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, left shoulder to the inside edge of the left knee, lifting those hands up and away from the body. Crown of the head comes towards the floor. Humbling gestures here. Breathing in and out. 2 more, in and out. Last breath, in and out. Inhale, power through the legs to stand back up, finding your warrior two for just a moment. Then we take right hand forwards, turning on the back toes, high lunge. Option to simply step to the front of the mat, or one last vinyasa for everyone else. Hands come down, frame the front foot, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, or your chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, finding your bhujangasana, your cobra, or your upward dog. We then tuck the toes, lift the bottom through downward dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, gaze between the hands, hop, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up overhead. Really nice. Find your Tadasana. Reset here. Breathe in and out. Really lovely. We're going to now work on a locust variation. So we're going to come and lie down on our bellies. You're welcome to find a mat or find a little bit of comfort for the hips. Blanket in the middle of the mat that your pelvis is going to rest on. It is a really lovely option for this pose. So coming down, we're not going to have any fancy transitions, but come down to lie on the belly. From here, we're going to tuck the chin, lengthen through the back of the neck, and take our hands to the top corners of the mat. Inhale, push down into the hands, lift and lengthen the arms, gaze forwards. Just lifting the chest, noticing how this feels through the back, breathing in deeply. Exhale, lower yourself down. You can do that 3 or 4 times more. Or if you prefer, you can hold at the top in the full extension of this back bend. if you want a more static practice. Really nice. If you're moving dynamically with me, one more. Bring your forehead to the mat, or you can take your palms of your hands stacked on top of one another, forehead to the back of the hands, and you can roll the hips side to side. It's a nice option for you. Resetting. Then hands can come underneath the shoulders. Inhale, push through the hands, lift the chest, draw the elbows in. You might still have a bend through the hand or through the arms. You're gazing forwards wherever you are. Exhale, you can lower back down. Inhale, you can lift, or you can stay static for 4 deep breaths. Taking one more rep. Really nice. Lowering down. Take that reset, stack the hands, forehead to the back of the hands, and rock the hips out side to side. This time, we're going to take our hands and have them in front of us like Sphinx pose. And we're going to actually ignore the top of the body for now. Instead, we're going to focus on the legs. Point through both toes. Lift the right leg up, engaging that glute, finding that lift, gazing forwards. Exhale, let it drop. Swap legs, right, then left, right, then left. Using your breath, really trying to engage through the back of the glute to lift the leg. Notice is one leg enjoying this more than the other. Give yourself a moment to just engage through the back of the legs here. If you want to make this super hard for yourself and your own ankle weights, now's the time to pop them on. 2 more moments here, breathing in and out. Last breath in and out. Settle the feet, turn the toes in, rock the hips side to side. You can lower your chest back down. This time we're putting everything together. We're working on either binding the hands behind our back, lengthening through and lifting the chest, or you can have arms separate, lifting and lengthening. But we're going to try and lift everything all at once. So forehead to the mat to start. We keep the neck long, so we're looking down at the mat as we take this pose. Inhale, we lift everything up off the mat. Holding here for 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Can you lift any higher? Engage through the back, through the glutes, lifting, pointing through the toes, the fingers, everything's engaged. 2 more breaths in and out. Last breath in. And everything relaxes. Draw the hands back underneath the head. Rock the hips side to side. Really nice. Be really proud of yourselves, guys. That's a hard one. We're going to do one last hard one before we move on. So if it's within your practice, we're working on our bow pose, where you take hold of the ankles and then find that big back bend. If that is not at all within your practice, you're taking locust one more time. Maybe changing the hand variation, so maybe binding behind the back, or even harder, having the hands up in front of you. Take whatever option you're working with. If you're coming with me to bow pose, now's the time to bend the knees, grab hold of the ankles, flexing the foot. We push the fronts of the feet into our hands to lift the chest, lift our body, gazing forwards. Inhale. Exhale, you might rock slightly as you breathe. 2 more breaths in and out. Last breath in and out. Let go of everything. Come down. Find a little rest. Forehead to the back of the hands, or maybe even turning the head to one side. Taking a few moments to just rest. Maybe taking the head to one side and then taking it to the other side. Let your breath return to its normal pace. Let your back release out. And feel free to take any counter pose that feels right to you right now. You're more than welcome to move back into a child's pose if it's calling you. Then from there, we're going to inhale, lift our head, bring our hands underneath our shoulders, tuck the toes. 1 bit of fire left. We're going to try in 1 explosive movement, come up in a push-up to hold plank. Inhale, lift, hold. Really nice. Downward dog. If you went to your child's pose, meet us in downward dog now. Move the blanket away if you were using one, just because we don't need it just yet. We'll have it at the end of class. I'm going to take the right knee behind the right wrist and spin that right heel out towards the left side of the mat. Let's set up our pigeon. Shift that left foot back. Sit up nice and tall and try to make sure that we're not hinging over to one side or the other side. We're keeping ourselves nice and central along the center line of the mat. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, start to forward fold. Let your arms come down, maybe to blocks, maybe to the mat. Maybe your forehead meets the mat. Choose whichever version of your supine pigeon feels good to you right now. Try and settle that weight into the front hip, really opening through the IT band, the outer edge of the hip and the glute. This is a great stretch if you're a runner. And if you're anything like me, you really need it today. Breathe in, find length through the spine. Exhale, sink into that hip space. Really nice. Find a little moment of peace. Again, we don't mind a little bit of discomfort. Some suffering in yoga is okay, but never pain. So if it's uncomfortable on a pain level, come out of this pose. Breathing in and out. Use the breath to settle you here. 2 more deep breaths. Last breath. Inhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, sit yourself up. We're going to hinge ourselves all the way over to the right side of our mat. Spin the left leg forwards and come to your Janu Savasana. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing. We bring the right heel nice and close in towards the bottom. You might even find you can push the hips forwards with a little helping hand from the feet. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, we hinge and forward fold towards the long left leg. You might take hands to the shin, the ankle. You might hold onto the foot. Pull yourself forwards. Imagine a string is being tied from the collarbone to the big toe. It's tugging you forwards gently, using the exhale to slowly start to round through the back of the neck. Draw the chin to the chest, and maybe your forehead comes towards the shin. Use this moment to settle yourself deeply here, breathing in and out. 2 more breaths in and out. Last big breath in and out. Inhale, walk the hands up the leg. We take the right leg up gently and take it across. If the sole of the foot can't be on the floor, step it slightly further away. If you can, have it nice and close to the bottom though. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. We're twisting to our right. We're hugging the knee. Maybe we're hooking the elbow on the outside edge of the knee. Right hand can come behind the back, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, twist yourself deeper, looking over that right shoulder towards the back of the room. Keep that left leg nice and engaged. Keep the flex on the toes. Breathe in and breathe out, twist deeper. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist deeper. Last big breath here, in and out. Inhale, twist back through center. We're going to take our seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana, move the flesh away from the sitting bones, flexing the feet. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, folding yourself nice and deeply. Hands might wrap around the feet, maybe holding onto the ankles or shins. Again, imagining that tugging from the collarbone towards the toes. Settling here for as long as you can. Hold it, but at least 4 breaths. Breathe in and out. If you're trying to fold yourself a little deeper, keep the feet flexed and you're taking the elbows to the outer edges of your mat. Inhale and exhale. 2 more like that, in and out. Last big breath in and out. Inhale, walk the hands up the legs. We're going to work through those poses in reverse order to finish back at our pigeon. So we take the other side. Left knee comes up. We step it across. We're taking the twist. We twist towards our left. Left hand behind the back. Right elbow hooks or wraps around the left knee. We sit up nice and tall. We twist a little deeper on the exhale. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, keep those left toes, the right toes, pointing up. Inhale, exhale. Last big breath. In and out. Inhale, come back through center. Really nice. We take the left foot to the inside edge of the right knee, knocking that hip open, the knee open, maybe giving yourself a little push forwards. Inhale, hands up to the sky. We find our Janusasana, melting the heart down, imagining we're still being tugged by that collarbone forwards towards the big toe. Breathing in and out, settling yourself here. Maybe forehead comes to the shin. Breathing deeply. Use your breath to help you in these poses. Inhale finds length through the spine. Exhale finds a deeper version of the pose. Last breath in and out. Inhale, walk the hands up the legs. Okay, now our left knee needs to stay pretty much where it is. We're hinging all the way over to the left. I'm going to turn on the mat so that you can see what I'm talking about. We hinge over to the left, we spin the right leg behind us, and we lift ourselves up slightly so we're in pigeon on the left side. Inhale, settle yourself into the center of the mat. Exhale, start to fold yourself down to wherever you're working to. One hip might not like this. One hip might love it, and it's super easy to fold. Listen to yourself and take whatever version or adjustments feels good to you. Using blocks underneath the arms feels really good. Maybe if you have a cushion nearby, you can have it underneath the forehead. Just taking whatever adjustments feel good to you right now and using what you have in your home to help you here. Settle into the pose, keep your weight centralized and really try and settle the weight into that left leg. You're also more than welcome to have some sort of prop underneath the left glute and butt. If you need a little bit of extra support, it's more than okay to find a more supported version of this pose. It's still just as good for you. 2 more deep breaths in and out. 1 more in and out. Really nice. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, bring your hands back underneath the shoulders, and we do 1 big move into our downward dog just to find some equilibrium and finish this part off in a nice kind of moment of symmetry. Breathing deeply, settle yourself and find a deep breath in and out. Last big breath here in and out. Let's find child's pose. Knees come down, big toes come together, and take a moment of rest, forehead to the mat. From your child's pose, we're now going to inhale, lift ourselves up, come back to sit on the heels, and swing the legs out to one side, coming to sit on our bottom. We're going to find our bridge pose. You're welcome to make this supported if you have a few cushions or some blocks or something sensible that you can rest your hips on. You're more than welcome to take that. If you're using your blocks, you're going to make sure that you situate the block across the very base of the spine, the top of the bottom, and just find a nice steady point. If you don't have blocks and you're going to work a little bit more dynamically with me, you're going to come with me. Everyone starts lying down on their back. Bring the feet nice and close in towards the bottom so you can brush the heels with your middle fingers. Inhale, push down through the soles of the feet and ground down through the shoulders. Exhale, settle yourself here. Looking straight up. Inhale, we start to lift the hips, lifting and intensing through the glutes to lift the hips even higher. Push down through the feet. You might start to walk shoulders towards one another, open through the chest and bring your chin closer towards your chest. Inhale and exhale. You're holding here for 4 deep breaths, or you're moving dynamically. If you're moving dynamically, you likely won't have your shoulder blades tucked. Exhale down, inhale, lift. Moving in time with your own breath. If you're supported, making sure you lift the bottom to place those blocks or bolster beneath your lower back. Breathing in and out. Moving in time with the breath. Last breath wherever you are. In and out. Everyone release the blocks, release the lower back, roll the spine vertebra by vertebra down towards the ground and let the lower back settle. You might like to take windscreen wipers with the knees, side to side. Just taking a little bit of relaxation, rest through that lower spine area. If shoulder stand is within your practice and you want to take it now, now's the time to take it. If, however, you're like me and you're like, no, thank you, I don't want to do that. Instead, you're going to find your happy baby. So you draw the knees in towards the armpits, take the soles of the feet up towards the sky, and grab hold of the outer edge of the feet. If you can't reach the outer edge of the feet, you hold behind the knees on the thighs. We're working on pulling the knees out and down as you try to lengthen the lower back down towards the ground. We're keeping the head on the ground. We're trying to find a flat back here. Breathing in and out, draw the belly button down and in towards the spine. Let your lower back settle. 2 more deep breaths wherever you are. If you're in shoulder stand, slowly start to take your halasana, your plow pose, if you want it. If you're with me in happy baby, you can take a few rocks side to side. Just releasing off that lower back a little bit more. If you're in halasana, start to, with support of your hands, roll your lower back down towards the mat and settle yourself lying down on your back. You have the option to take the knees in towards your chest and find your supine twist. If you want to take supine twist, you take hands out to the side and rock the knees fully over to one side of the mat, gazing away from the knees. Resting here for 3 deep breaths at minimum. Last big breath on this side. We move to the other side. Gazing away from the knees, settling your lower back down as you ground your shoulder blades. Hips are stacking, breathing in and out. Start to close the gaze down. Shutting the eyes, turning the gaze inward, noticing where the breath is moving through the body. Noticing what the twist is doing to the breath. Last big breath here on this side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, draw the knees up to center. And with a lovely big yawn or sigh, you can take a full body stretch, lengthening everything out and find your final resting pose, Shavasana. If you're taking traditional Shavasana, your heels are turned in, toes are turned out, fully relaxing through the hip space. If you want to, you can always take knees in towards one another and have the feet on the outer edge of the mat to release the lower back. Or if you're working on developing your hip stretch, you can take soles of the feet in towards each other and knock the knees open. Wherever you are, find a moment of rest. We're going to be here for 10 minutes. If you can, please set a timer for 10 minutes or listen to some music for 10 minutes as you lie here, really focusing on your breathing and working through relaxing your whole body. However, I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for practicing with me. Enjoy your Shavasana, and I'll see you on the mat soon.